advocating charity and peacefulness and so on, then it seems to me you should be somewhat of a charitable individual yourself. Someone asked me at the break last time, where did these ideas of turn the other cheek and love your enemy and so on come from? Who asked me that question? You did. Which bears on what we're talking about, and it is in my mind vis-a-vis people like Eusebius, and that's probably where it started to come into your mind. You see, I think he was asking me, how did Jesus get these unique ideas, or something to that effect? Now, we all know that some of these ideas are what are associated with, quote, Jesus. You see, I know I have perhaps not terribly attractive presentation in that regard, but these are not new ideas. They're only new in Palestine. These are not new ideas in the Greco-Roman sphere at large. That's what makes me suspect the historical presentation of the Jesus in Palestine. We're talking about a figure, call him Jesus, which oddly enough in Hebrew is supposed to come from the word Joshua or Yehoshua or Yeshua, which actually means what in Hebrew? Savior. Yehoshua is he who saves his people, the Savior. So his name, transliterated into Greek from Hebrew, this is a short name. Yeshua was shortening from Yehoshua, as you can see, basically this syllable went out. J's are Y's in Hebrew, but Latin J's are Y's in Hebrew. So what do you mean? Well, the consonant in Hebrew is Yud. There's no J consonant in Hebrew. So it's a Yud. It's a Yud that goes into Greek, and then Latin has, I think Greek, it still keeps the Y form. For instance, Jacob, I think in Greek is still Yaakov, I think so. It only becomes Jacob as it goes into Latin and other Western European languages. Am I making myself clear there? Okay, so you should try to know a little Hebrew if you can sometimes, and this consonant in here is Yud. And it's usually found at the beginning of words like this, and it usually has to mean something like he who. That's why you get so many of them. Yehoshua, what can I think of some other ones? Yehochanan, Yochanan, John. Yochanan is he who comforts. Give me another one beginning with J, and I'll tell you what it means. Think of any names beginning with J in Hebrew transliteration? Well, don't give me Jeremiah, because that doesn't follow that particular route, I don't think. No, what? No, Jerome comes from Jeremiah. What? Yeah, Yehuda, Judas. That doesn't work that way, because see, it depends if it's part of the verb or added to the verb. In the case of John and Jesus, it's a he added to the verbal root. In those cases, Yehuda, Judas, it's more part of the actual root of the word. And it's very complicated from that. So it's not part of the grammar. It's not a suffix or a prefix. In this case, a prefix. It's actually part of, because it can be part of the root. There are, words that have it in the root, but it's also part of the grammatical. Like we have H as a he, but we also have H in words like a hero, that have nothing to do with he. Follow me? Anyway, I can't think of, if one comes to me like that, I will, oh, Yehonatan, Jonathan, Yehonatan. In that case, it's for God. Yeho is God. So in that case, it's God gives. Because Yeho can also be God, Yahweh, Jehovah. added to the words. The reason Jeremiah is difficult is because there the God is at the end of the word, not at the beginning of the word. Jeremiah in Hebrew is, do you know what it is in Hebrew? Yeremiyahu. The Yahoo is God added at the end of the syllable, like same with Isaiah, Ishiyahu. You have to know what Ishi means. I have to look it up. I'm not sure what Ishi means in Hebrew. But Yahoo is, God added at the end of the word. That's why all those later prophets have those funny endings on their word, on their names. Jeremiah, Zechariah. Who? Zedekiah, right. All those are Yahoo names, meaning they're, Yahweh's names from the, the name, getting a feel here, but it doesn't hurt. All knowledge is useful. The Hebrew official name for God is YHWH. You all know that? Anyone doesn't know that in this class? Okay, you're all advanced students. And then, so they tried to fill that in modern-wise, and they get Yahweh. Because as Hebrew is that's another one of those he forms, by the way. There it is, right there. It's because this is a root in Hebrew. And Hebrew is based on three-letter roots. So are all Semitic languages, Arabic too. You take SLM, it's on an airline. What's it mean, SLM, in Hebrew and Arabic? Huh? Shalom, salam, peace. Islam is built off of that. Islam has SLM in it. And the I is a prefix, the A is another vowel added in a different form to show you it's a verbal noun. I don't want to overdo it, but it's a fourth form verbal noun meaning to cause to make peace or to cause to surrender. And Islam means surrender. Surrender. They want us to surrender, actually. Surrender to God's will, normally speaking, not to the Muslims, but it can be interpreted to the Muslims too, because that's God's will. But the actual name, Islam, means to cause to make peace, that is, to cause to surrender. And so there's a very good indication where the Y is part of the verbal form. Am I making any sense there? Now in Hebrew, Yehovah, which is a total misnomer, based on the three-letter root and the he form. If you've read the Old Testament, do you remember what Moses said to God when he met him at the burning bush? Or